Hey guys, Ziv here. In this episode I'm going to be talking about the personal listening devices I use to listen to music or watch movies on, and give you my honest feedback about what I use. If you're new to the channel, I'm Ziv and I just talk about things in my life, things that I do, DIY tips, tricks, hacks, and just have a bit of a yarn with you about my personal experiences with everything that I go through. So I've got a few listening devices, one being the sound system there. So it's all Krix speakers. It's a 7.4 sound system. When I say 0.4, it's really 0.1 because I don't run the subwoofers independently. They're in mono, but they're tuned independently for the room. So it's really a 0.1 sound system. I've got one LFE channel, but they're all individually tuned, but I say 0.4, so it lets you know it's 4 subs. So that's running off of Marantz Cinema 40, and I've got a Project carbon turntable as well there. So that's for my in-room listening, which is great. I love that sound system. Now, when I listen to music, I listen on my iPhone through wireless headphones. So this is the iPhone version of it. These are AirPods Pro. I love these things. Paired with an iPhone, they're pretty good. They have great binaural processing. So you can map your head and it'll basically get your ear mapping really good so that the binaural processing is matched to the shape of your head, because with psychoacoustics and how we experience sound, our nose, our face, where our ears are positioned, they all affect how we hear sound. So the fact that you can take a picture of your head and then listen to something, go onto YouTube, do yourself a favor if you have this combo and look up some binaural video, and you'll get surprised by where the sounds come from. It's pretty cool. And if you watch, say, a Dolby Atmos video, depending on the output format, but I believe if you watch it on an iPad, they process the output as binaural, depending on the streaming service or the quality of the content, and then you get the sound surround experience a bit better on these earbuds. I hate these for the reason that they keep falling out of my ears. I haven't found a tip that is great for my ear yet. So when I'm going on walks and I've got my iPhone with me, I use these. These are HIFIMAN Svanar, I think it's pronounced. They're the top of the range model. I think they have a few tiers, but they stick in my ear really nicely. So they're bulky, but they really stick in well with most ear tips. So well, so that sometimes when I go to pull them out, let's see if this happens. If I stick that in and I pull it out, the ear tip is actually left in my ear. And that is super annoying, I reckon, that they don't, they can be really hard to get out of your ear then. And you got to kind of get them out and pop them back in. Now, I'll show you a little hack. If that happens to you often, because you're a jogger or something, and you want to really jam your earbuds in, here's a little hack. Let's jam it right back in again. You saw how it came out last time. But if you go with your other hand around your head and pull your earlobe up and back a bit and do it a couple of times, it basically loosens it out where it almost falls out. Let's see if I can get it to fall out for you. So I've jammed it right in like I did the last time, and if I just, there we go, it just, oops, no, that didn't work so well because it left the ear tip behind. I think I went too fast. I'll do it one more time, see if it works. Jam it right in. All right, let's just give it a gentle rub and see if it comes all the way out. Like, you don't even need to move. Anyway, it's not quite falling out, but I can pull it out and it's still got the ear tip on it. So that's a good little hack. Sorry, it didn't work the first time, but you get the picture. that if you just pull your ear here, generally the whole thing comes out, which is awesome. Now these have a great frequency response, pretty good noise cancelling. I think these might be slightly better on the noise cancelling, but because these fit in so tight, just the tightness of the fit is a fair amount of good noise cancelling, and they have pretty good noise cancelling, really good battery life. I haven't tested them on the aeroplane yet. I have tested these on the aeroplane with an iPad, and they work well with the noise cancelling. These I haven't tested yet, but I think they're about 2.5 hours of full noise cancelling. And they've got another mode, high res, which is really good for if I'm walking in a windy area and you get that wind shuttering noise. The high res setting on these is awesome. And I get none of that wind noise that you get with noise cancelling or some other modes. Like, yeah, it can be really annoying when you get that whoo sound through your headphones from the wind. Now, when I want to, these actually have a pretty bad Bluetooth chip in them, iPhones. They're not the highest quality Bluetooth chip. And so if you're listening to really high quality music on Tidal or something, and you want to use the wireless and get the highest quality, I wouldn't recommend using your iPhone. So I have a Astell Kern DAC, portable DAC basically. This is the SR35. And then I can listen to Tidal on this. And yeah, I believe the guy in the shop told me it's got, you know, the high-end wireless chip in it. But often when I'm listening with this, I'm just listening on my headphones. So I'm not sure whether this was the best purchase yet. It's got a great DAC, like it's got 4 DACs in it, so it's got a huge amount of processing power, and it does sound pretty good. Like the bass sounds awesome. And what I want to do is I want to get 2 tower speakers on this sound system, and then not run the Marantz as my DAC, run this as the DAC, and just have a separate amp, 2-channel, no processing amp, and plug this straight in and run this as the DAC for a pure 2-channel listening system. And I think this DAC will sound nicer than what's in the Marantz, although I do love the DAC in the Marantz. So for the cost of what one of these are, I'm not 100% convinced, and the main reason is the user interface. Now, Astell Kern prides itself on, you know, your music, your sound, let's get you the best quality sound. So they really focused on the quad DAC and the storage, and just so you play your music off of it. But most people stream these days, and with streaming and with accessing your music, you want a good user interface. I mean, with the Marantz, I've got HIOS, and I'm not happy with that either. I find that clunky as well. I like just using the Tidal app where I can, but I want to stream it direct, whether it's through the Marantz. So I have to use HIOS, or I have to use this thing. So I'm not sure. So the other option is run your phone and have a little external DAC, but that's just clunky. And I found that it wasn't working so well. Something about it, I used to get popping sounds through it or something. Don't know whether it was the wire and how I was bending it, but this is a little FIIO DAC. I'm not sure of the model, but it has Bluetooth as well. It's a much cheaper version of what this is. And at the moment, I just run my headphones, and I run this off my PC. So I have this on my desktop, and I use this for anything that I do on my PC when I'm using these. Whether I'm listening to music or editing or something, I run it through this little DAC, which has been great. Like, the sound is good out of it. I can hear things really clearly. It processes well for gaming and stuff like that. So better than what's on the motherboard of the PC. And it's just a little fairly cheap sort of DAC for that one. And yeah, so these are great. These, I think they're called the Sundara closebacks. I got the closebacks because I want to be able to listen to music in the bed next to my wife, and I could use the in-ears, but the sound is a bit upgraded when you have on-ears, I believe. So these are planar magnetic, and I got some fatigue when I started. I had ringing in my ears, but now that has stopped. But I don't know if just getting used to planar magnetic sound was part of that. I didn't like it at the start, but now these are great. But when I watch a movie, I can plug into the jack, and the bass and everything's great. I still prefer watching a movie with the sound system going. Like, these have a beautiful bass curve, everything. I should be getting the exact best sound as the director intended it. But when I listen to it on the sound system, that feel of the bass through the floor, into the couch, the bass washing over you, that experience is awesome. And then same with music. It is just better on the in-room sound system. Even though my room isn't perfect, I've got all these weird angles, but I think that helps. I do just prefer on that. So I guess in order of preference, any sort of listening, movies, music, sound system, the best. Then next, I guess the most I listen to is on these headphones through my iPhone. And that way I can just run Tidal directly. And yes, the Bluetooth chip isn't as good, so I might be missing out on some of the high res bit rate. But because these have a DAC in them, basically, themselves, they're converting whatever the bit rate is into an analog signal. So yes, I'm getting less information, but these are making up the remainder of the information anyway. And it sounds pretty good. I haven't noticed too much of a difference between running it off of the wireless on this to running it off on the wireless on this. So that'll be my next preference. Then I guess these are my third, and probably actually most of my listening is on these. And my next purchase will probably be some open backed, because in my office, I think it's not going to matter. That sound bleeds out the side, and I'll get a good quality set of open backs. And that's going to add to the spaciousness of the sound, which will be great. And then lastly, these are just super handy. You know, they fit in your pocket nicely. Like, I mean, look at the case size difference. They got good battery life. And that binaural processing is just super cool on these. I really love these for that. But I guess I listen to these the least now that I have all these other systems. So yeah, that's a bit of a rundown of the different listening devices I have, and what I like and don't like about them. So if you're looking at buying one of these or something similar, those are my tips. If you've got any tips and tricks on what I should get next, or how I should run these sort of DACs, or whether I should sell this because it is expensive and I don't use it much, yeah, let me know in the comments. If you want to see more reviews of stuff I have, hit like on this video and I'll do more videos like this. So yeah, cheers guys, I'll see you on the next one.